Well, I'm in Canada. I didn't really plan on this, but I was in Maine for the past week, and all my friends left Maine, and they were like, why don't you go to Canada? And why don't you make a video? So I'm doing both because I'm easily peer pressured. I'm in New Brunswick, which is just north of Maine, probably about 4 hours, I would say. The sun is rising over my shoulder. I slept last night on the side of a road in my tent in a small fishing village. Yeah, just so we're on the same page, I asked if I should go to Canada at 3 o'clock, and it is now 9 o'clock. My tent is on the side of the road, under the ocean, under the moonlight. I've got 3 hot dogs boiling in the jet boil, and there was a moose outside my tent at about 3 in the morning. Very sketchy. But I got a good week ahead, I think. I'm gonna hit New Brunswick, Bay of Fundy, which is about an hour from here, I would say. And then I think I'm gonna go home and go back to work because I'm gonna have to pay for this trip somehow. And a lot of people think I just don't. I guess they think I just have money or I just don't pay for the trips, but it's not true. I just put them on credit cards and then I go home and pay for them. So first thing I'm gonna do is not think about that at all, and it's gonna be watch the sunrise. Okay, I'm in New Brunswick, which is it's almost the easternmost. I'm 1 hour ahead of East Coast time. But to get into it, I am in one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. I'm gonna go backpacking. There's this little beach that I have been told about repeatedly by employees here and rangers, and they all say, yeah, that's the place to go if you're backpacking. So it's not that far. They're in kilometers, and I don't know what kilometers really are, but it's not that far on the map. At least that's what it looks like. So we're gonna go. I gotta pack my bag. You can't even watch me do anything because I didn't know I was recording YouTube videos on this trip until Jared told me. He's like, hey dude, you should probably record YouTube videos. You got the personality for it. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's good or bad or if I'm gonna get canceled, but right now I have to pack my bag so I can go sleep on a beach in the Bay of Fundy, which has the largest tidal changes in the world. It's almost a full moon. That means they could be up to 56 feet. 56 feet, dude. I have 2. Okay, packed up. It is go time. My pack's pretty heavy. I'm overpacked if I'm going for one night, but I don't know how long I'm going for, really. Hopefully I've got everything I need. If I don't, I'll have to come back, but I do have bear spray, which I need because I think there was a bear outside my tent last night, or a moose. It sounded like a bear though. It was sniffing, dude. And it's time to go before the sun sets. I set up tent, so we're rolling. I cannot believe this road is always empty. There's nobody out here. This is one of the most beautiful roads in North America. It smells like Christmas. Along the way, I am looking to fill up my water. I was told there's plenty of places, little springs all along the way, with more flow than this, because that would take a million years to fill up my platypus or life straw, but I have faith. One of my favorite things to have whenever I'm backpacking or hitchhiking or traveling in general is the Life Straw Go bottle. It's got the filter inside, so if you're at an airport or anything, you don't have to use like a squeeze pouch. You can just fill it up with water and filter it right as you drink it. It's, I think, the best way. I don't know why anybody uses anything else. Spiders are by far the biggest nuisance in the northeast of the US and in this region of Canada, probably elsewhere as well, but everywhere you go, they just build their little webs right across trails. It could be 5 feet across and they'll span a web. It's unbelievable. And if you knock them down, say you knock them down at 8 o'clock when you're going out, if you're coming back by 3, it'll be right back there. I ran into this on one of the islands in Maine I was staying on last week. It's unreal. And they're not small, they're big spiders. unbelievable. And this is Bay of Fundy. Tide's going out right now, so this is only going to recede even more. Struggling a little bit to find a place to set up camp, not because there's not enough options, but because I want to get close to the beach, as close as possible. Ideally, somewhere like here would be nice, but most of the predetermined campsites are back in the tree line for obvious reasons, especially on a night like tonight where the high tide and the full moon coincide. It's going to be, I don't know if they call it the same thing up here, but back home that's a king tide, and it often floods. I can see where the water line has been up here. I can't imagine. What am I saying? I can't imagine. This is my first time here, and it's a 56-foot tide change. What's another 5 feet? So I think this will do it here for the evening. Unreal. One of the first things I need to go do is get water back at that stream just down the beach. I think when the high tide comes in, it probably floods entirely. I saw that somewhere else up the coast. So I need to go get it now before the tide comes in. It's probably about dead low in the next hour, and then it immediately starts pushing. So when that stream gets flooded, I won't have any fresh water except what I grab. And honestly, I think I'm just gonna go for a walk. I mean, this place is pretty bonkers. You can see where the high tide line is, or has been the past few days. So this would be up to my waist about. All that water comes in. The amount of water that comes in this bay is unbelievable. It goes all the way up the brook. The plan for dinner, which I'll probably wait 30 more minutes, hot dogs with ketchup. I actually brought those down out of the coolers, so gotta eat them tonight. Gotta make do with what you got. I haven't made a lot of these videos, but I have watched enough to know that right about now you would be watching me on a tripod eating a hot dog. Last night was pretty amazing. I woke up about 12 o'clock, which was dead high or right before, and I went out under the full moon. It was so bright outside. There was light inside the tent, and just went for a walk on the beach. Went to check where I put the trash, because I put all my trash in a plastic bag under a rock on the beach. There's black bears here, but I find it hard to believe there'd be a black bear here. So I put that stuff down the beach a good ways, and it was beautiful. Today I'm gonna wait for high tide to come back in, so probably another 5 hours or so, 5 hours, and then probably go for a swim. This place, Bay of Fundy, is 7 degrees Celsius, which is 45 to 55, somewhere in there. It never changes all year round, so apparently nobody swims here, but I'm gonna do it because I kind of have a policy: if you're somewhere where there's water, you have to go for a swim, no matter how cold. So I've got a towel, which is actually my pillow as well, inside the pillowcase, and go do that, and then probably hit the road and go somewhere new. Look at the size of this sucker.